So Hanna Golf's a boutique putter manufacturer, and so we make golf putters. So we mill our golf putters out of 303 stainless steel with CNC mills, and we do that right here in Iowa. Well, what sparked the idea is I played college golf at University of Northern Iowa, and when I got there, the coaches put me on like a software program for putting, and they gave me a different putter than what I've been using in the past. And that putter was got off a tour truck that Coach Bromel ultimately played in the major championship. So it was a prototype, so there were not many of them floating around out there. And when I graduated, I gave it back to him. And so every year I'd get on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or eBay and I would search for this putter. I could never find it. And after about 10 years after I graduated, I finally said, you know, why not just try to sketch it myself and see if we can make it. And so my brother-in-law drew it in CAD. He's an aerospace engineer. And then I had a buddy in Texas. He has a machine shop, and he made it for me. And that putter, I'd have to pay somebody a lot of money to play that putter. It's not very good, but what I enjoyed is I enjoyed that process so much, and it made me really curious about the putter space, which I didn't really know a whole lot about. And so I started doing some research and thought that there was something here. Now, what gave me the push to do it, I think, is a little bit different. I've always kind of had this entrepreneurial bug, but I think you really need to burn the bridge at some point if you're going to do it. And you know, life-altering events, or you know, our time on this earth is really finite. So we never know when something might happen to us. So I rather honestly give this a go and try. And if we fail, which I'm confident that we won't, but if that were to happen, then I'd be at peace with that versus, you know, never trying at all. Well, I'm excited to get out of bed every morning because I don't have to go into an air-conditioned office and, you know, sit behind a computer screen. I really like creating, and you know, I really realized this over the last, you know, basically year. But when I have to sit in front of the computer to do, you know, end-of-month stuff and look at some financials, I really dislike that. And you know, that's what I had been doing, you know, for the better part of my career is, you know, I guess, and I shouldn't say better, but the better half of part of my career is sitting behind a desk. And I really like creating, I really like building. It gives me creative energy, and I love the ability that we can hop in CAD, which I did over the weekend and spent some good time in there and getting CAM. And then now Tyler and I, we can go and prototype those parts that I made over the weekend just, you know, that quickly. And so I love that. I also love connecting with our customers, you know, on a daily basis. And so that gives me a lot of fulfillment. I've had a lot of tough challenges on my journey. I don't think that there's probably one toughest. I think for us, or for me, is I bought a CNC mill in July of 2023. I burned the bridge and quit my job. I had never seen a CNC mill before I bought one. And so, and I'm a salesperson by trade, and generally, you know, salespeople are just not super technical, and I fall into that bucket. And so, bought that CNC mill, put it in my garage at home, taught myself everything, taught myself CAD, CAM, taught myself how to operate those CNC mills. And the first, you know, 2 months of that was a great honeymoon period where I was learning so much that it was super exciting. And then there's, you know, pressure starts to mount from, you know, when are you going to be able to launch this business? And you start looking at cash. And, you know, that was a really, really difficult 8 months for me. And there was a few times in there where I legitimately thought about just, you know, selling that machine and just going to get a job, because I think a W-2 job is probably a little bit easier most days than doing this. Huge challenge for me, but the positive on that is that I've taught myself a new skill, and I've learned a ton, and I think that hard part is behind us, which is good. The most rewarding part I think we've had so far from just a pure product standpoint is we did a collaboration with Bridgestone Golf. We did 12 putters, and they sold out in 10 minutes. And you know, for people that may not know Bridgestone Golf, they're a major player in the golf space. Tiger Woods plays their golf ball, and I'm sure most people know who Tiger Woods is. So that we didn't make really any money off that deal. It wasn't about the money, but it was about brand validation. As somebody that's entering a market with established players that have been around for decades, and trying to make your mark on it, it was huge for us. And so that was really fun. That was really important. And I think that was kind of one of the moments that I've definitely been most proud of. Well, I think Pappajohn has been good for me in a variety of different ways. One, I was able to get, our first full-time employee, Tyler Wolf, through their help, which has been a huge, that's been huge for us. I probably wouldn't be alive today if I didn't have Tyler's help start in August of last year. And then the other thing I think is it's good to bounce ideas off other people as well. And Brooke's been a really good help, from bouncing ideas off of. And, the thing that I like about it is that, he wants me to win and he wants us to win. And, you need cheerleaders. And you need people that are rooting for you. So that I think has been good. And then Brooke's always willing to help me out. I'm a person that generally is, maybe for lack of a better term, a lone wolf, which isn't always great. I don't always accept help from people. And so, Brooke's definitely been willing to help in any way he can, and I really appreciate that. It's funny, I get asked a lot what goals we have really in this business, and I'm a really competitive person, and I like to think that I have a pretty good work ethic, and I've always been goal-oriented. But with this thing, for some reason, I don't have a pie-in-the-sky goal, which is strange. I am trying to look more like a weekly and monthly goals, if you will, and that number usually stems around like a new product, X amount of products shipped, X amount of products milled each day. So we're actually really just trying to be really good in the process and let the results worry about themselves. It's a popular thing that we used to say in competitive golf, Sometimes you can't control certain things and you just really need to control the process and let the results speak for themselves, and whatever happens, happens. And so that's kind of where we're at. I think the next big thing is I would love to ship 100 putters in 1 month, and I think we're building to get there, and I think we'll have the opportunity to get there here later this year.